gentlemen, welcome back to the Fall Pro League Finals here at DreamHack Denver, and the anticipation is growing here in the arena. A lot of people are excited to see what's happening here. The Optic Gaming match also continues as well, but we did find out which player was sick, and that's going to be Respectful. So we're going to have to watch for him to see if he's going to be able to kind of keep up his game and keep up that focus, all while the other three teammates kind of standing up, being leaders for the squad, and picking up that slack.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation. Clearly, his team was up ahead right there off the bat. We're going to have to see if that takes away any momentum. His team was, I want to say, up like 40 to 15 or 40 to 20 at some point, and clearly that's when things went awry. So we're going to have to see if that plays into effect here into this whole series, because, I mean, this series was just getting started. We just started scratching the surface. All
right, and we're being told as well, it is going to be a full replay back to ground zero. We're restarting from the beginning of the game. We never got through game one. We are going into strongholds on the rig. Let's see if Infused can kick things off just as hot as they did moments ago. See if they're going to be able to get control of that railgun and get control of the scatter shot immediately as well. You've got Mose making a push for the railgun. Player's going to fly in from straight, but that is going to be Denoxide, who goes down with the railgun off the map. Mose finding another player into Camo Hall. Beautiful shots as Ace trying to shimmy around that wall there to stay alive, and now they've got some focus here towards the basement. Two players in here getting ready for the capture. Mose will go down, but it does look like the player will be there to finish it off.
Yeah, and unfortunately it seems like we have these members of Infused just desperate in this basement. Looks like they're able to actually acquire it, but I felt like they gave up a few too many lives. There's two down right now for Infused. They're going to have to try holding this as long as they possibly can.
Well, Kimbo's flanking around, trying to get to the nest. He's getting some shots and grenades thrown all over, but he does have Mose right there to back him up, being his protector, staying alive, and Kimbo is able to pick up that capture. Starting off very similarly as we saw before, and now they're making that push, keeping up that aggression, not slowing up, not playing too passive like we've seen in the past.
Yeah, right here, I like this play though. Grabbing this BR base, going for that trip cap, that puts straight in a predicament. It's always one of those situations where they don't know if they should go back, try to stop the bleeding. Do they just go for basement and nest? Now they have what T2 likes to call the poor man setup, and it's a really tough setup to hold for a bit, but it also puts straight kind of in the reactive position. They have to decide if they're going for PR base, they go for nest, and right now Kimbo keeps to put on this pressure as he's getting a trip cap once again.
Where did those two players go? He saw two players on his radar, but they all but disappeared.
They had to commit to a different stronghold. Like I said, strong side. Those are really tough to know what to do. It's like, all right, now we only have one stronghold. They have to make some sort of move, and as they push away.
All four down for straight Rippin. Infused are still playing at the top of their game. This is looking very similar, if not better. Straight Rippin had 3 points when we were first watching this game. Now they only have 1 point, and Infused has the trip cap, but 3 players go down for Infused. Jimbo has got to stay alive here and maybe pick up a couple kills. He'll throw that scatter shot right into the face of one of the straight players, but not go down. Picks up a nice little present right on time. He's got his coach Havoc, making sure he's on top of it to get that railgun. Player does push up behind him, but look at that. You've got some teamwork there helping him out. 3 players down for straight Rippin, still holding 2. It's 49-1. Had the railgun queued up, but did not get the shot off. So 3 shots left in the chamber. See if he can do any damage with it.
Yeah, one thing you notice right there is he had the timing off on the camo just by a slight bit, because you saw how Jimbo just jumped down there, was already holding down reload as he's trying to grab a new camo coming up, and then had to bail. You realize you're off by a couple seconds.
Were you going to say jamboed? He jamboed that thing?
He jamboed that thing.
Jambo, he's jamming all over this place here. But Infused are back in control, 54 points to 6. And Jimbo trying to stay alive behind Mose over in the basement. And Mose is going to opt to push up and kind of flank around. Realizes that Jimbo is going to get taken down. Doesn't want to opt for that battle. Could fight 2 players down there, so he's going to opt to move around back towards the VR base. But he's going to get picked off. Does have 2 players nearby to potentially pick up that capture. It looks like it will get captured, and 2 players from Straight Rippin are going to go down with that double kill.
And yeah, that was just a really frustrating situation, I believe it was for Mose, because I felt like he was doing so many great decisions to avoid fights. Like he decided to back away from basement, then somehow runs into somebody over at tower side, then tries to bail over towards BR base and gets pinched off again. It just felt like he had no routes to escape.
All right, well, you know, with Respectful being sick, I'm a little interested to hear what their comms are like. So let's jump into an Astro Listen In with Team Infused.
Help me out. roll.
Wait on Ace, got one below on it, bro. Wait on Ace, mate.
We can back and turn.
You ran on 5.
Yeah, walk out.
Hey, one more, I had it.
Watch out the yellow box. Go for this.
We got rail.
Rail basement. They're gonna have rail basement. I'm breaking this. 36 camera.
Okay, I can play that. One scratching, long hold.
Double cap. 36, yeah, 36.
One sparrow.
Jump over to Lewis.
I can't get it. I got some main scatter, bro. You get this?
They might have camera.
Nice one. Heck it. Scasher's up and me.
They're gonna have camera here.
One more now. He's with camo. Hack glitch.
Go nest again.
And what a play by Jimbo, taking down Commonly, who had the camo. They held the trip cap there for just a moment, but now Straight Rippin is able to capture two. Walsh, anything to point out there during that listening?
Well, during that time, Infused, they didn't get control of that camo. Commonly had it, yet they're still putting points on the board. So it shows that this Infused squad are comfortable with or without power weapons. Because you notice they didn't have too much panic. They weren't just saying, camo here. Like, they seem to be pretty calm in all situations. So that's a really good sign. There are some teams that seem to have strong times where they have control and they're fine, or when they're on the back foot, they know how to regain it. But it seems like this Infused squad knows how to play from every single facet of the game.
Well, Straight is able to get 3 down for Infused, and as we're in observer mode, you'll see the outlines of all the players here on the map. So Denoxide opting to make his way around the outer part of the map over towards Tower to help out his teammate. Spots a player down at Tower 1, gets the first shot, but let's see what's going to happen here. Mose will back down. No need for him to challenge, playing that perfectly because they are kind of trapped in this corner right now. You don't want to push out until you get a kill, and look at this. They're picking up 2 kills. Now you're seeing them make a move. Railgun's coming up here in just a second as well, but Ace is going to be able to pick up Kimbo and get that present. He's got a Railgun, 4 shots, looking to block this nest from getting captured. Putting some shots over here, but he's going to get beaten down by Mose. Big play from him.
Yeah, so much pressure across the map because Ace, not only was he trying to stop Nest, but Basement was getting captured at the same time. So it looks like this Infused squad likes to split up their forces. They decide to divide and conquer as they push towards Basement, towards Nest, and put Ace in predicaments like that.
Well, they do have 2 in their hold right now, and they got the reset on that Basement as well. On top of that, they've just got the trip cap. Oh my gosh, what a scatter shot from downtown with that one. Mose is able to pick up that kill, but they are going to lose the majority of the strongholds. Does have a good amount of power weapons here right now, but he only has 1 shot left. Can he get this capture? He has a teammate nearby trying to stay alive. Gets the help. He's able to finish it off, but they haven't got the capture yet. Finally, double kill. That's going to go down, but while that happened, they're going to lose Nest and BR base. So they are able to get back Nest. They have just got to hold on a little bit longer, and Team Infused will win game number 1.
Yeah, Infused are looking prime for this. Felt like these teams are just 1 step ahead every single time. As Straight Rippin's capturing Nest, they're going over for BR base and vice versa. Just so many great heads-up plays from all these players. This is going to be game number 1 going to the EU squad Infused.
EU is coming in, showing that they have got what it takes to be a top team internationally, that they have what it takes to compete against the North American teams, and they are making sure that it is known. They've got a few more games left to seal the deal and move on to the top 6, but coming in after that, especially after hearing that Respectful's not feeling very well, that looked damn near the exact same beginning start that we saw from game number 1.
Hey man, that would make me feel a lot better after beating a team by 47 points if you're not playing at the top of your game or not feeling the top of your physical health. So right there, 150-3 in favor of Infused, and they also only outslayed by 6 kills, so great objective efficiency.
Walsh, there's something on this stat board that stands out amongst the rest here. I mean, the assist column here, 17 assists from Respectful, 11 from Kimbo, 13 from Jimbo, Mose 12, and on the other side from Straight Rippin, no one even hitting double digits at all.
Well, yeah, Mr. Jimbo with the lucky numbers today, 13, 13, and 13 there for kills, assists, and deaths. Taking a look at his overall KAD throughout this pro league, he went 1.71 and with a 52.7% accuracy.
Also, in that game, we saw 9 power weapon kills from Infused, and they had 3 camo pickups. On the other side, we saw Straight Rippin really struggle against Splice with this. They only had 1 power weapon pickup here. They were only able to get 1 camo, and we saw against Splice, there were times where they did not get a single camo on some of the game types, or a single overshield. So that seems like something that they need to put a little bit more focus towards.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple saying we just need to get more power weapons or power-ups, but how do you actually go about that strong side? Like, what do you end up doing in a tournament situation like that yourself? Because clearly it's not just as simple as, oh man, we should have grabbed a power-up or power-weapon. Like, how do you talk to your team about setting up for it earlier, preparing for that?
Definitely get that focus towards that. I'd say probably about 15, 20 seconds ahead of time. And you're either it's setting up, getting around that area, but you also can set up too early. And maybe that's a problem as well. I haven't been able to exactly see if that's a Straight Rippin problem. Are they setting up too early? Because if you're set up too early, you're just kind of, you're posted up and you're stuck.
It's wasting time, yeah. And it's also, in my eyes, I felt like a lot of times the teams that do best as far as setting up for a power-up or power-weapon are the ones that create a great amount of diversion somewhere else on the map, or at least in nearby proximity, not just on the camo or the railgun itself. I think a lot of people kind of get in that mindset. It's like, oh, well, in order to set for that power-up, I need to be in position to touch it. And in most cases, no. You need to be somewhere on the perimeter where you can at least get eyes on it or fight players who might be just randomly running towards it and catching them off guard.
Get a free kill for a guy that's just trying to bum rush the overshield or bum rush the camo. But also, yeah, sometimes it's nicer and easier to pick up a kill or 2. Once you're up a kill or 2, then you know, hey, we've got numbers. I'm probably going to have a better chance at going for this OS or camo.
Yeah, it's absolutely similar to objective, like you talked about before, like a flag game. As soon as you get 1 or 2 kills, you can pretty much collapse in towards whatever you want to acquire. In many cases, like on a Slayer or on a Strongholds map like that, it may be a power-up or power-weapon that you wish to acquire.
All right, well, let's take a look at the series layout here to keep everyone familiar if you're just tuning in. This is Team Infused, European team from against North American team, Straight Rippin, facing off for a top 6 placement. Team Infused takes game number 1. The Rig Strongholds 100-53 going into game number 2, Coliseum Slayer. Definitely Slayers are a bit different than Strongholds, but we did see quite a bit of teamwork from Team Infused. And if we see that type of teamwork as well and that type of camaraderie and movement and just duos moving around the map, we could very well see something very similar. But you're going to probably see Straight put a lot more focus now towards these power weapons. Baby J in the Open Cups, time and time again, I would tune in to the grand finals and see this guy just sniping, just taking player after player out, picking up multi-kills, sniping people, quick zooming, doing all kinds of stuff. So I did talk to Baby J as well earlier, and he said originally, you know, Ace and Denoxide, they were kind of the snipers of our squad, but once I started just pulling off ridiculous stuff, they were like, hey, why don't you take the sniper? Because
all right, we'll let you have it, man.
We don't know what you're doing, but you're doing something incredible with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because in many cases it's so easy to focus on who's controlling the power-up or power weapon and kind of focus on them as kind of that pivot player for the squad. I actually kind of look at Conley as the biggest turning point member on this Straight Rippin squad because he kind of ends up being this aggressive player that either starts the opening, getting that first entry kill that allows his team to push in and have numbers, or sometimes falters and gives up that first free death and puts his team at disadvantage in 3v4. So we're going to have to see how Conley opens up the situation because he's such a good aggressive player. And like I said, he can be the make or break player for the Straight Rippin squad.
Yeah, and take a look at the Atlanta placing there, 13th through 16th. Definitely coming in a little bit different for this event, fighting through Friday, through the Open Cup, and now battling throughout Saturday, trying to make it to Sunday, potentially, would be huge for this roster because they've come a very, very long way.
Dude, the other thing that's most interesting to me commonly is that he wears his headphones backwards. It's something I will absolutely never understand. I can understand like inverted controls because that makes sense. Like, all right, some people perceive how you hold a joystick different and how like that moves around, but inverted hearing, that doesn't make sense.
And we're getting an update. That graphic was incorrect. Commonly placed 5th, but into this game, Coliseum Slayer. Let's see what's going to happen here with Respectful as he's making his way over towards the bridge. Gets a nade over by the DMR. Doesn't get the connection there, but 2 players from Straight are going to go down by Jimbo and Kimbo. Make that 3 players go down, and that Sniper, the Rockets are going to go into the hands of Jimbo, and Sniper going in the hands of Kimbo. Jeez, all this rhyming.
I was just going to say,
what is going on here?
A Jimbo and Kimbo sandwich, what kind of bread are you going to use? Bimbo?
let's stay here with the Rocket player. And actually, you know what? Let's go over to Kimbo with that sniper. So let's see what he's going to be up to. Very uncharacteristic spot to be in with the sniper. You're not going to be able to get many sight lines here, but it seems like they're trying to get into position, trying to get some good sight lines. And as he does, taking down Baby J, just a clean snipe. Nothing too fancy and flashy, just nice and clean, just in the right spot, the right time, predicting where his opponent's going to be. So looks like he's going to get ready for a rotation, stays alive narrowly. There is a player in the cave. Look at that help, respectful, right there to help him out, clearing out the way, and now keeping a great control here towards the snipe side of the map. And I believe that was going to be Baby J flying off the map. And right behind him, he decides to just skydive right off the map with him, and Sniper's off the map as well.
Yeah, and one thing that was most impressive there about Kimbo's movement is most players kind of know, all right, I can either like thrust left, thrust right. In most cases, that's going to be kind of your escape route. Him knowing that he could jump up above that red cave and realize that he could avoid shots for a couple seconds just shows that map knowledge to a whole nother level.
All right, well, already 2 power weapon kills here for Infused and none for Straight Rippin. So Rockets will be up here shortly, so they're going to want to get those Rockets and make sure they're keeping some focus towards those power weapons, whether that's setting up or like you said, just keeping some distractions and some battles going on around the map while one player can kind of swoop in and just pick up the Rockets untouched. Baby J jumping back out, trying to be a little advantageous right there to pick up a nasty kill, but he'll stay alive, and he does spot a player on his radar. But let's move over to Denoxide as he picks up a perfect kill on Mo's, battling this player up at top bridge. But right now, players are scattered all over the map.
Yeah, players scattered all over the map, but one thing to keep in mind is we did see a 5-kill lead for Infused early on, yet Straight Rippin was able to close that gap without any sort of power weapons. Now that we have Rockets in the hands of Commonly, the most aggressive player on Straight Rippin, we're going to see if they can extend this lead and actually get a lead in the first point for their first time in this game.
All right, Commonly picking up 2 kills here with the Rockets. Doing a nice job at trying to stay alive here as well. You're going to see Kimbo take down Denoxide in the kill feed. 2 players go down here. Commonly not able to figure out where these players are coming from. Maybe some miscommunication. But let's move over to Kimbo and see. They're already getting ready for that next sniper, Walsh.
Yeah, already on top of it, that 9-minute mark. So great job there from Kimbo and the Infused squad. Last time he jumped this one off the map here in Pyramid side. I don't think he's going to make that same mistake here again as he actually messed up.
All right, well, Kimbo's going to go down with that sniper. We listened in earlier with Team Infused. Let's check in with Straight Rippin to see what's going on. Is there some small talk issues happening? Let's jump into an Astro listen in with Straight Rippin.
One shot right, Sinky. One shot right, Sinky. Try Sinky, guys.
Aaron, I'm here. I'm gonna push.
2 here, 2 Sinky right here.
3 red flag. I need help.
Let's try sniper weak. I
got one.
I'm watching your window. I'm watching your window.
I'm rotating.
Right down.
I'm dying. Run. We could
It's trench, I'm dead.
You guys are found. I got nade.
Bottom
Anyone help dance?
Bottom mid, 1 shot.
Red found 2 shots. Jim, that's down red trench. Take it. Yo, red. Red silver.
Sinky.
I got that.
That's Sinky, bro. Sniper, watch out.
Alright, sniper.
Rockets. He's got sniper rockets. Red trench. 3 bottom mid. Roll.
One shot there.
They're rotating weapons back red.
Grass.
One's grass.
One shot grass. Blue side.
So there. Double grass.
Grass weak. Yeah, red maze and red beyond.
Red maze sniping. And he has rockets. Red found and red maze with rockets.
There's 2 dead right now.
You don't cat.
Go, someone play rockets.
Play rocks when you spawn.
One's our cave. Okay, weak, Kimbo.
Right window. Rush sniping. Rush down. Fuck. I'm leaving elbow.
Red maze and rockets. I got a couple shots.
Oh, pyramid.
Shot rockets.
Shot snipe.
Fuck. One shot with sniper. Nice, son.
Yo, blue
Red DMR. And one with top rockets.
Help me pyramid. He's top cat. Alright, mate. Blue maze half. Sniping blue maze half. That rocks, watch out, couch. Blue found with weapons. We're sniper. He's blue sticky and blue maze. Blue sticky and blue maze. Cave.
Blue maze.
Double cave and blue maze. Blue maze. Three there for cave. Blue maze.
Watch out, guys.
Found again, one shot.
Next 2 guys here. One blue cave, need help.
The Straight Rippin were just getting picked off as they tried to make their way over towards the snipe side, but now Respectful has the sniper once again at sniping. I feel like Team Infused, their main focus, and they've been doing an incredible job at it, is just constantly overloading the sniper area.
Yeah, they've been doing a good job just controlling that whole perimeter area, because when we talked about before, when we saw Commonly with those rockets prior to listening, he just he got killed over near Fountain side before he even got towards Sniper. So they do a good job of controlling the areas around that power weapon. You don't have to be standing right on Pyramid to have an influence on Sniper. You can be over at either Fountain side, either outside ledge, even top Sniper bridge, and probably be more of an asset than if you were directly on the weapon spawn itself.
Well, Team Infused, they are doing it. It is 40-32. Team Infused may take game number 2, and they will be inches closer to securing a top 6 finish for the first time ever on international soil.
Centimeters closer to strong side. They use the metric system.
Okay. Oh, that's true. That's centimeters closer. All right. I know. Dude, the pounds thing, the kg, all that stuff, man. It's everything. Makes it a little bit more. Makes it a little tough, but
I like how we make fun of the metric system too, even though it makes absolute perfect sense.
It does.
It's like, hey, we have a great perfect measurement system. Like, how ridiculous.
So over to Ace, but Team Infused, Jimbo and Respectful picking up another kill. They have a 10-kill lead. It's 45-35, and they are another set of rockets. Moze with the sniper and the rockets picking up the double kill. Team Infused is not messing around. Moze looking for the spawners over at blue. 3 more kills until this game is over.
Yes, and I don't see them losing this. It's so tough to lose when you're up by 10 kills and you only have 2 kills left as far as leeway. STR8 has such little room for error.
Go for it.
Moze is still just hitting these ridiculous shots.
Do it.
Last one, 50 kills for Infused, 50-37 above STR8.
You know he was feeling good. You know, even just watching, you're like, he's going to jump back out. You know he's jumping back out to hit that second snipe. He's all smiles as well, but putting the pressure on STR8 Rippin now without a doubt, going down 2-0. They've got a long way to make that comeback, to make that 3-win game series, or excuse me, back-to-back-to-back wins, 3 games in a row to make the reverse sweep. Pressure is on them. Infused, I mean, you got to give it to them. They've got a player sick now as well, but also you got to give it to them. They put the time in. They put the passion, the dedication. They came out to North America early to play against the North American teams online. They have been putting in the time and the effort.
Yeah, and take a look at these stats. I mean, we had 35 assists from Infused, which is about 70% of their total kills, whereas STR8 Rippin, they had a higher percentage of assists. I mean, it's closer to like 82% of assists for STR8 Rippin. I mean, they had 31 out of their 37 kills, so that was a great job from STR8 Rippin.
Without a doubt. Let's take a look at the damage dealt as well here over on this side. You're going to have Jimbo over 2,000 with Commonly as well. And just great plays from everyone on Infused. I mean, power weapon kills. You're seeing, and power weapon grabs as well. 5 power weapon grabs from Infused and only 2 from STR8 Rippin. I think really one of the biggest things Infused did so well was getting that rocket, getting that sniper consistently throughout the game. I mean, at the end, we saw Moze with rockets, and I'm thinking there's no way he's got rockets again. And not only does he not just have rockets, he whips out the sniper as well and hits a no-scope.
That's a great point, Strong Side. Maybe part of the reasons why we saw more assists on STR8 Rippin squad as far as percentage goes is because of the power weapons getting in the hands of players like Kimbo. I mean, we saw him with a snipe early on. We saw him later on with that second snipe at the 9-minute mark. So Kimbo just doing a great job controlling his power weapons. And I mean, who needs team shot when you just kill people in one shot with a different weapon?
Yeah, just no-scope them. Just go for the no-scope, shoot a rocket. I mean, it's going to connect. Well, let's take a look at Kimbo here. He's been competing since 2015. Accuracy definitely on point, but you know, I got a chance to talk to him a little bit out in London, and you know, this guy, he's been completely focused. I know we talk about the entire team being focused, but not just in 4v4. He's excelled in the FFAs on top of that. We saw, I believe it was SLG win the FFA, but that FFA consisted of 3 players from Team Infused, just showing how much individual skill this roster has.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think, been one of the keys to EU's success so far in this event is they've finally kind of broken down certain barriers out there and just found, all right, who are the most skillful players here? All right, now let's find a way to work together. Because I remember seeing earlier on in Halo 5 when Moze was playing against Jimbo's squad, and I was like, wow, like Moze is an incredible player in his own right, and I was very happy to see them finally kind of team up. And I mean, we did see other non-successful kind of superstar rosters in the EU scene when we saw the likes of like Jimbo and Snipe Drone and all those squads put a team together. Yep. At the same time, it looks like they finally found this right mix, and I mean, that's been really tough because, sure, we've seen dominant rosters out in the EU scene, but they want to make sure they make the most dominant roster. They want to make sure they have the best players and best teams they can send over here on NA soil.
Well, you're taking a look at Ace there in the center. You got Commonly, Baby J on the far right, and on the far left, that's going to be Denoxide. They've made a long run. Can they keep that run going and continue it on? They've got to win the next 3 games, folks. If you're just tuning in, this is a top 6 guarantee match. Team Infused leading the series 2-0 against Straight Rippin. And very big match because this European team, they can make history here. Never has a European team placed top 6 at an international event throughout all of competitive Halo, whether that's Halo 1, 2, 3, Reach, Halo 4, H2A, Halo 5. It has never happened, and they are looking to break history here.
Yeah, one thing else to keep in mind is it's not like whoever wins this match is not just guaranteed to play 5th/6th. Especially the way that Infused is playing right now. If they're able to somehow 3-0 Straight Rippin and move on, they're going to be a scary force to be reckoned with in their next match. But they still have to close this out. We've seen heartbreakers before where teams up 2-0 and they get reverse swept.
Here we go, on with Mose as he's making his way over towards the car side. Baby J will pick up Jimbo down at pink 1, Kimbo up at pink 3. These two are attached at the hip sometimes with some incredible shots, but wow, take a look at that. Denoxide will perfect Mose, and Kimbo goes down. That's 3 down for Team Infused, and Straight Rippin looking to make a push into the base. They've got top middle control and pushing over towards pink as well.
Yeah, Denoxide doing a great job always controlling the top area. I've noticed him rotate so many times from top pink over to top center, or going bomb center over top middle, and just doing such a great job buying time, just being that big distraction. As many people think, top center is just this open area where it's too easy to get killed, but if you know where your opponents are at and know how to take cover up there, you can be one of the most frustrating players to play against because people feel like it should be easy kill. Sometimes they just take their whole attention on you, and because of that, it allows opportunities for someone like Baby J and Commonly to clean up those kills and move in on the Infused base.
He's got less than a quarter of his camo left, trying to make a move. He flies in through the window, taking down Respectful. Knows another player is nearby, picks up the double kill. Another teammate will finish off that third player. What a grenade by the last member on Team Infused to get 2 players weak, so they're going to have to slow that flag run down and let those teammates spawn up. And now, are they going to be able to pick him off? Yes, they do, but 2 players from Team Infused are going to go down, and that flag is going to sit at pink 1. But 2 players are down from Straight. Can Team Infused get some eyes on this? They've got a player underneath the base. Another nade comes in, putting them to 1 shot, and Commonly just right here trying to assist him back into the base. That's another player down. Can he get it in? Yes, he does, but he'll go down right on the flag stand. Straight Rippin is up 1-0 here in game number 3.
I like that play from Infused. I mean, they definitely tried to commit and try to stop that flag, but by no means did they give a bunch of free deaths. In many cases, as soon as you start to see that flag and start to give it up, you might just want to try to pick off a couple kills as they're moving across the map, including that flag carrier. Make them pay with their life to put that flag in.
Denoxide fighting a player here at pink 2, trying to keep some control at top middle, but he's going to get taken down swiftly. But over to Respectful as him and his teammate pushing over towards pink 2. Finishes off Commonly. And you'll see a player from Team Infused pushing into the base of Straight Rippin, but quickly going down. So Respectful, he's going to have to slow it up here. He's got to wait for a teammate. He does have Jimbo underneath the base. Great grenade by Respectful. Beautifully paced to bounce right in to that little cubby hole. And then you've got Mose with the camo. This is an opportunity that could really turn out well for Team Infused.
Yeah, it's a little scary though because 2 members dropped. I believe that's the 3rd member of Infused, and Mose just trying to run around and buy some time, staying alive with his life, and that did not work out. I was about to say he was moseying around in front of red base, but that did not work out whatsoever. That's always a tough situation to be in. When you have camo, it feels like, all right, I should be able to sneak around and get away without problem. But as soon as teams find out exactly where you're at, or a lot of times they're able to estimate approximately where you may be based on when the camo's picked up, and so as soon as he was sniffed out, he was hunted down.
Commonly holding down pink 2, but he's not going to be able to make a move as 2 red X's pop up on his screen. He does have a teammate nearby as well pushing up, but it's not going to be enough to make a push for that flag just yet. And Baby J is going to go down immediately. So Commonly, I think he's doing a great job here, just kind of sitting back, holding into that pink 2. 2 players are going to push on him, though. Gets a good grenade. How is he still alive? Picks up the melee kill and is finally taken down.
And those are so frustrating when you're in Infused shoes. As soon as you go around the corner with one of your teammates, you realize you have a full 2-on-1 situation. You expect so much more help, but Commonly's movement, as he goes around and gets the trade, that's a huge win in Straight's book. And there's 3 down for Infused right now as they're running across the flag. There's no way Infused can stop this flag. This is going to be a 2-0 lead right now for Straight Rippin in game number 3.
Straight Rippin doing everything they can to stay alive here in this series. Commonly, beautiful shots across the map on Respectful. He's got a teammate pushing in from Car and a teammate pushing in from Pink, but he's going to find a player by Car too, as that Car member will go down. Throws his plasma grenade, just trying to get anything going. throws a plasma on the flag just in case that flag was going to be grabbed, but it's not going to do anything here because that flag looks like it's going to be moving towards that pink side. Ace is trying to get over there as quickly as he can, sprinting, trying to fly over here. Will be able to stop that flag though, but it looks like they are going to be able to get that return. No, not able to get it just yet. And look at this. Jimbo able to keep that flag alive and going, but there's 2 teammates down.
Yeah, and that's a tough situation because it looked like they were about to collapse a bit. Too many members there for Infused over towards the flag. And right now, they went from a position where they had 3 alive. They had them all on pink side. But there's the problem of clustering up. We saw 3 members of Infused all near pink 1-ish. And one of these players from STR8 was just able to fly out red pink street, get a flank, get a kill, run back into pink 2 unpunished.
Now we got Ace just trying to stay alive, finds a player level to the base. Will he make him punish? No, he will not. His teammate commonly will come in to finish off the kill. Ace will pick up the assist, but there are 2 players right behind him, 2 players down, commonly and Ace, and it now looks like Team Infused are trying to push up, but Baby J throwing some grenades over at pink 2 to try and just keep those players at base, let his teammates spawn up and make a push. Baby J looking over towards top mid, but getting shot from all over the place, getting swarmed and collapsed on by Team Infused.
Yeah, and that's such a tough situation to be in. It looks like he had no escape route, didn't really have any idea of where he could have gotten away in that situation right there. Just look at those double teams. It feels like every single time we see some of these members of Infused push into straight base, a couple of them drop right away, which is uncharacteristic. In previous games we saw before, they would get a couple kills and they would roll that lead into more of a lead. They'd get a couple more kills, get control of a stronghold, divert Straight's attention. But now it seems like anytime Infused are getting a couple kills, they somehow just get it answered right back from Straight members. So I'm not sure if that's because of Infused jumping out and challenging a bit too much prematurely, being a little too aggressive when they assume they have numbers, or just great play makes from Straight on the defensive.
Well, you got a great play here from Ace, getting that top middle control. He's able to get these sight lines over towards the pink tower as he's got teammates infiltrating pink 2. And now that's going to be 3 down for just a moment. Team Infused, STR8 Rippin's going to make this moment happen here as he gets that flag out towards the pink side. It's a 1-for-1 trade, 3 players up on each side. So STR8 Rippin's going to look to get maybe 1 more kill before they can keep that flag going all the way back. It looks like that return almost happened. Can Denoxide make it? Yes, he does. He's able to keep the flag alive, and this could be it. STR8 Rippin looking for flag number 3, but that flag will be grabbed.
And that's just a panic. An absolute panic grab from Kimbo. Generally, if you're trying to grab the flag in the opponent's base, you need to toss it towards bomb center. Tossing it under the opponent's base is not going to do anything. And what a near clutch return, but Ace gets 3 kills for a triple. This is almost certainly going to be game number 3 going in favor of STR8 Rippin. You see that they're happy, but they're not getting overly excited. Their work is just starting.
Yeah, they've got a long way to go, but STR8 Rippin, they've got some heart. They are not letting up here. They want to bring this back, but putting a little bit of pressure on Team Infused as well, because, you know, in the back of your head, you're thinking, oh, you maybe just kind of slipped into your head. A reverse sweep could possibly happen. But let's not let it happen.
Yeah, you know, prior to that, they're feeling good. Like, you know what, we're about to just make history here at this DreamHack Denver event, and you don't want to have any of that doubt creep in your head. Taking a look at these stats, we did have STR8 Rippin for the first time in the series outslaying. They outslayed 60-43, so that might be the key to STR8 in some of these objectives. A lot of times I talk about objective efficiency and making sure you get the most out of your slays per objective second or per flag capture. But end of the day, the reason that ends up being kind of an interesting stat is because the majority of the time it's just whatever team outslays the other in objectives usually wins.
Yeah, definitely, you're right. Well, taking a look at the replays here, I mean, talking about STR8 Rippin kind of not getting stuck in their base like we've seen in the past when they were playing against Splice. Obviously a different team here. Splice is a little bit more tight-knit, and they have got their teamwork really on point, and obviously they just won the last tournament as well. But STR8 Rippin looking like an entirely different team than we saw earlier, and a bit more teamwork as well. And like you saw that player leave the flag in the base so that they guaranteed that final kill on that 4th player in the front, making sure that there is no possibility that this flag will get stopped.
Yeah, and a lot of the pressure of this tournament is riding on this guy's shoulders right here. Baby J, he's kind of a little bit newer to the scene compared to the likes of Ace commonly and Denoxide. So he's been competing since 2015. His last tournament took 5th/6th, and he's been playing absolutely incredibly in the Legendary Cups that I've had the privilege of casting the past month and a half.
Well, I definitely want to talk about if STR8 Rippin win game number 4. I mean, that puts so much pressure on Team Infused. And how many times have we seen where a team goes up 2-0 and then the next team wins the next 2 games? How many times have they made that reverse sweep?
We've seen it 17 times.
I'd say more times than not, without a doubt. More times than not. 17?
We've seen it 17 times, yep.
I don't know where you got that number from. Don't listen to this guy. He is definitely a liar. Don't trust Walshy. Sims will tell you this. Do not trust Walshy. I'm backing Sims on this one.
But yeah, on the other side, like we talked about before, we just said Baby J is kind of this strong player we need to be looking for in the Straight Rippin roster, even though I do believe Comley is kind of that make or break player for Straight Rippin. He's kind of that new one that's got more of a question mark next to his name. I mean, Commonly was a gold medalist at X Games, ace the global champion free-for-all. And over on this other side, though, Infused, you know, they got 2 games under the belt. They got 1 more to go if they want to move into this top 6. There's Respectful on your screen. He had to bow out during game number 1 due to some sickness, but he is back at it, and I have not seen it lack in his gameplay so far.
And there you see the 9th through 12th placing at Atlanta. He said it earlier in the tournament and during one of his interviews, going for that top six finish there to make history for European Halo. And he's looking pretty calm, though. If you ask me, I mean, he doesn't seem too flustered. Yeah, you're sick, but you gotta like, I don't know, bring yourself back up. He doesn't look like you need to do that. Like, if I was sick, I'd be like, man, I need to like start chugging some water, like maybe even get something to like build my energy up. But he looks just super calm, super collected.
Yeah, all these players look pretty calm. I mean, I think we've seen kind of some transitions from the years of Halo. Early on, like even as close as a couple years ago, you'd see teams just getting overly hyped and, you know, they're just kind of riding this waves of momentum and screaming out, but it's not sustainable over a long tournament period. When you're yelling out the entire time and hopefully just trying to ride those waves of super high highs and getting pumped up, I mean, you can't expect to have that same intensity every single game, every single series, and these teams are starting to find out, hey, guess what? Being calm and, you know, just doing that seems to be sustainable throughout an entire series and tournament.
All right, Kimbo's got his eyes on the prize here. Top mid, going for that camo. Can he get it? That's going to be 2 down for Infused. Doesn't opt to pick up the camo. 3 go down for Infused, but that camo will be burned. Incredible plays from Straight Rippin here at the start of the matches. They're going to be able to get a capture here over in the yard and looking to get that bottom mid, and it looks like they're about to get the trip cap as well.
Well, yeah, that was a bit of an interesting play with camo. Clearly his intention was to get the kill and secure the camo rather than just going for the burn. So I don't fully disagree with that. And on paper, some people might think, oh man, why didn't he just grab the camo? Because he didn't want to just burn it. He was getting greedy. He wanted to grab it and get away with it. He felt like if he just tried to go straight for the grab, that player was going to challenge from Cafe side. So I think that's always something interesting that does happen kind of from a higher level of play or a higher level analysis, that some people might at home see this mistake made like, oh man, that's such a rookie mistake. How'd that go about? But the intention was clear. He wanted to walk away with that camo. He was not content with just a burn/trade.
Mo's trying to get this capture here on the nest, just hanging back. Nobody contesting him here. It looks like his teammates are kind of everywhere, kind of keeping the attention of the players of Straight, and that's going to be 3 down for Straight Rippin. Baby J, the only one alive. He's got to stay alive. Mo's shoots the barrel, hoping for a player to push through that hallway. Always a nice kill to pick up on that barrel. Just
yeah, it's nice when it happens, but clearly a member of Straight probably was not going to be pushed at that moment. He may have just been clearing out the barrel for his teammate over at light rifle side, so that player did not have to give away his positioning. So it's awesome, this kind of teamwork thing where rather than forcing his teammate who was closer to the Straight Rippin spawn to give away his position, he was able to shoot that all the way from Nest, and then his teammate's able to sneak over by light rifle.
Well, Mose is in great position. He's got that high ground as 3 players from Straight Rippin go down. The last player in Hotel, and he's going to get that help from Respectful, and they're going to finish off all 4 players of Straight Rippin, holding the trip cap. They've taken the lead. It's 23-20 right now, getting that pressure once again, but Mose is going to get taken down, but it'll be a 2-for-1 trade, so definitely worth that trade, and now you're going to see Kimbo go down as well.
Yeah, possibly worth it, because as they flooded in towards yard, they forced a couple Straight Rippin spawns outside. I'm not sure if these guys spawned over near Hotel or if they spawned near bottom snipe lift, but anytime you try to pressure teams off their spawn and they're not all alive yet, you can force some split spawns like that. And not only do they give up control of Nest, they let go of that camo, which was going up at the exact same moment. Sneaky play here from Conley. I like this play. He realized he has to do something big, but he might have been sniffed out. One thing I really liked about there that he started doing at the very end is as soon as he got kind of sniffed out and spotted, he tried to shoot and at least get that finish on a player. Sometimes people commit 100% to trying to be sneaky, and at some point, you just need to help your teammates. You just need to start firing and help them out.
Well, that entire time, He had camo. Infused was holding the trip cap, lengthening their lead by more than double of Straight Rippin at 55-20 right now. This trip cap is still going. Where are the players from Straight Rippin right now? We're on Jimbo's POV. I don't see anything happening. There you go on the kill feed. 2 players go down, Commonly and Denoxide from Straight Rippin, putting a lot of pressure over towards the yard, but that's an incredibly hard push to make. You have one doorway to push through.
Yeah, that's the brilliant part about Infused setup right now, is that they have a player in yard with shotgun. And so what they're doing with the setup is forcing Straight Rippin to say, all right, you're either going to flood through a couple people through the small, narrow hallway into yard, into a shotgun/grenade, or are you going to go all, you're going to make this all or nothing push into the center of the map where you're trying to get bomb center or nest. And Straight Rippin opts to go toward yard, which I think is generally the better play. It's really tough in many cases to try to push out towards the center because the player from yard, if they know what they're doing, can generally jump up towards that gold ledge. So if you are going to have to deal with that person, you may as well send someone toward yard to deal with them.
If you're an EU fan, this is incredibly exciting right now because Team Infused are winning 79-27. Not getting points right now, but Respectful picks up a perfect kill. They've got control of 2 strongholds. They are moments away of securing a top 6 finish. They just have to hang on and close this out. Not too much time remaining if they can finish this off. Kimbo, he'll get taken down, but look at this. The slays really going in favor here of Team Infused. 36 slays from Team Infused and only 24 from Straight Rippin. So Team Infused are showing no mercy, making sure that they can keep that control with these strongholds.
Yeah, 1.5 times as many slays for this Infused roster. When you have that many more kills, that much more significant of a percentage, it's going to show. It's going to show in your map presence. It's going to show in your options as far as running around getting strongholds. It's going to show in the amount of pressure that Straight can even put on you. Jimbo getting that shotgun kill over a light rifle. He's got to be feeling it. Only a few more kills and it's almost guaranteed that Straight cannot capture these strongholds.
Yeah, now Jimbo is going to go down. Straight Rippin panicking. You can see they're just rushing out, trying to get any capture. They've got some focus at bottom middle. He hits the ground pound, but he's not able to get the finish. It doesn't matter. Team Infused, the European squad, they do it. They take down Straight Rippin, and they are moving into the top 6 for the first time ever, making Halo history. Never before seen. This is the roster everyone looked to. Onset, Gaskin, Sims, all the EU guys have constantly talked about this squad. Even NA players this tournament were saying this team, they have got what it takes and they've got that individual skill. And you know what? They have proved so many wrong and they have done it. Team Infused are in the top 6, Walshy.
I'm incredibly happy for them. Obviously, it's always a tough moment seeing teams lose here. You never want to say goodbye to teams, but someone does have to lose. And at the end of the day, though, I'm super happy to see a squad like Infused reach this amount of success. You know that they've had to been grinding for years. It's had to been more of a struggle not having the scene as supported out in Europe compared to the amount of tournaments and exposure that we've had in North America for Halo. So this has to mean so much here to the Infused squad, and I absolutely welcome it. I love the idea of having more global competition when it comes to Halo, and Infused are kind of setting the bar.
You've got a smirk. You got like a little smile to you over here, Gaskin.
I mean, I'm happy to see good Halo, and I'm happy to see a fantastic series, but Infused must be delighted. There was a little bit of scare, of course, in the first game with Brandon, Respectful not feeling too well, but history is made, and now they're going to have their eyes set on the next game, which would be Liquid. I believe they're going to face off against next in that elimination bracket. But what a moment that is, not just for European Halo, but for Infused in general. I mean, your general thoughts of this series, Dave? Did you expect a little bit more from Straight Rippin, or do you think Infused just came out hot here?
That's the thing is, I think prior to this tournament, even when we were talking early on in my prediction, I was like, oh yeah, it's got to be Straight, right? But then as I started to kind of do some reflection and some good points were brought up about how Straight played against Supremacy, and you talked about how Infused are, absolutely dominant against Supremacy in most of their online scrims. It kind of got me thinking. I was like, man, no, Infused on paper, theoretically, should probably beat Straight here based on a couple of stats. So I definitely was in the wrong when I first started giving my predictions, and I was happy to be proven wrong. But one thing that also stuck on my mind is, yeah, they stood up, they were proud, they were excited. However, they didn't get up cheering as if it was their last hurrah, as if they won the tournament. And that's a great mindset to have, because if they came to this event here at DreamHack Denver saying, we got to get top 6, and that was their whole goal, they're going to fall flat their next series. They need to come to this tournament saying, guess what? We're not just going to make history by taking top 6 at a North American event. We're going to make history by winning a North American event.
And the difference in celebration as well was massive from Infused. I mean, they didn't get up and they didn't smack talk Straight Rippin. There's a lot of respect here now. Infused are going to be going up against some of their idols the further they get into this tournament, and there's a lot of respect to be had.
Well, you know what's interesting too? If they keep making these trips out to North America and keep getting better and better, and they keep placing into these top 6, maybe if they beat Liquid and go into the top 4 or top 5, like that's going to be really interesting to see, because what happens if players start leaving and going to another top team, and like they start getting into that mix of the North American teams. And we've seen something similar with like a player like Septic. He came over and played for some North American teams, but this is the highest ever a European team has placed. And these players, incredible individually. So there's a lot that can happen. I know I'm theory crafting right now, but a lot could happen and a lot could change.
Are you trying to poach our best players already? We get top 6 and suddenly Strong's like, oh yeah, we could put him in here. He could be on Optic. No.
Hey guys,
I want to see Europe stay together.
We need a good Slayer on our team.
But seriously, I mean, I think a lot of European players have been contemplating that for quite a while. Can I make the move? Is there a possibility? Can I get a visa? That always helps, those kind of things. But I think at the moment, they'll be focusing on their next game, which is going to be Liquid. We'll just get some quick thoughts from you guys. How are you feeling about that matchup?
That's going to be definitely a tough matchup. I mean, you look at Liquid, and nothing against Straight Rippin. Straight Rippin was technically an open team. Yeah, they're an all-star roster. You've got Ace, commonly, players that have been competing for a long time, especially Ace.
They did beat Luminosity, though. Like, it's not like they were just gifted their spot, right?
Yeah, and that's why, but I feel like when comparing them to Liquid, it's hard to say that they really match the skill of Liquid, and I think Infused, they have got a very tough matchup ahead of them, and it's not going to be easy. It's going to get a lot harder. Yeah, Infused were playing phenomenal here, but they're going to need to keep up that momentum and that pace. And like you said, Respectful is not feeling too well. Honestly, I couldn't really tell the difference. He was laying down some big numbers throughout that series. If they're playing like that, I think it's going to be a good fight. And you know what? We could see Team Infused beat Team Liquid.
Well, we'll find out from Mose himself, who's down on the floor. And I think Golden Boy might have returned. So let's have a word with him.
That's right. I'm back. It's time for our Xfinity post-match interview, and I'm down here with Mose. Congratulations on that victory, my man. You guys have done what many thought couldn't happen, the highest placing for an EU team. Are you guys satisfied with that?
Yeah, we're happy, but we're obviously going to go further than that. We're going to try to get the top 4 now. We're happy. We're just going to chill for a bit and look for our next match.
So you guys, dominated the competition at Gfinity. You looked so good. Coming into this weekend, you guys ended up losing to Envy in your matchup, and I know it must have set you back a little bit. What adjustments did you guys make from that matchup to this one that gave you guys that victory?
Playing Envy, obviously, they're an amazing team, so you just got to learn from them. They're such a quick team. I think the individual skill is there, but they're such a quickest team than us, so we just learned. We didn't look at that match. We just played our game, learned from them, tried to play quick as them, and we just came out strong in this series.
Now, you guys ended up losing that Truth CTF game. What were the comms like there? Because it wasn't pretty. I actually thought we were going to get the sweep, didn't see it happen, and I was like, oh boy, this isn't good. I hope that they don't regress, they don't go back and play worse. How are you guys communicating there to try and improve going into Game 4?
Yeah, we lost the Truth. We didn't play it at our best, but a few small things, unfortunate things. I stuck Kimbo, so they got a cap. I team-nated Kimbo, and then they got a few unfortunate things that can happen. So it wasn't really better about it. We just talked about next match. We knew we was going to win.
And now you guys, I believe, will play Team Liquid, if I'm correct. Confidence going into that particular matchup there. How do you feel this squad will perform Infused against Liquid, your own personal confidence levels in that matchup?
So yeah, we're going to play against Liquid. They're an amazing team. We're just going to try to play our game. We're going to focus on ourselves, try to play our own game, and we'll see what happens.
And hopefully, you guys don't eat the breakfast, apparently, because that's what caused all the problems here. But in any case, Mose, my man, thank you so much. Guys, give it up for Mose, please. If we can give some love to this guy right here. I'm going to go ahead and send it over back to the desk. Gaskin, do my job.
I've been trying. It's a difficult one, but I noticed you did switch the microphone when you did a handshake there. So you right hand shake, not left, apparently. That's what I've learned from Golden Boy today. Nothing else. You can't learn much from that man, but you can definitely learn about handshakes. But So we speak a lot about these European teams, and a lot of the focus today has been on Infused because it has been such an incredible story, but we cannot forget about these massive North American giants that we're also witnessing in this tournament. And next up on stream is going to be Envy versus Luminosity. So I just want to get some quick thoughts from both of you about that matchup.
I mean, it's really tough to put Luminosity above Envy. I mean, Envy are such a strong squad. I mean, most casters predict them in the top 2 pretty much every single event. So to try to think that Luminosity can take them down, especially if Luminosity had lost earlier to the likes of Straight. Usually if there was a new day or something like that, that kind of would be like that reset mentality. I could see that happening, but I have to go with Envy as heavy favorites in my eyes.
You agree with those statements?
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, I think Envy's probably going to 3-0. Seeing them play against every other team other than Splice.
Yeah.
I mean, they look incredibly dominant, excuse me. I think Envy's going to come in and probably take that one very quickly.
Well, it's going to be an exciting series, that's for sure. Envy versus Luminosity will be coming up next on your screens, but it will be after an extended break because we want to give the players a chance to have a little bit of a rest. We don't want to overdo it. We don't want any more players throwing up, that's for sure. But during the break, we do have some footage from the Optic versus Liquid game that was on earlier. I think it was map number 4. So enjoy this one, have a cup of tea, have a nice break, but we'll be back very shortly.